Florida man arrested for shooting down Walmart delivery drone. This is him. Being honest, he doesn't look that sorry about it. To me, that's the look of somebody who's only sorry that they got caught.
Now they say I hit it, so I must be a good shot.
Those agile Figure 1 robots are now actually on the job at BMW working. UC San Diego's got robots much more agile by teaching them to dance. An AI-generated influencer named Kayla Laley just won the AI Beauty Award. Big night for Morocco. And of course, fully generated AI runway videos are a thing now too, so yeah. One of the weirder pieces of news, famous investor Marc Andreessen gave $50,000 to an AI agent on Twitter that asked him for money. Not really sure where that money is going, except, or like, is there a person? I'm gonna dive into it. Liveportrait is available on Hugging Face. I'm gonna play with it a little bit, show you how just freaking powerful this thing is. OpenAI and Los Alamos have actually signed a biosciences partnership. Roblox is now using artificial intelligence to listen in on conversations. An important court ruling pushed AI into the general direction that whatever's generated is uncopyrightable. I thought time crystals was like a sci-fi thing, but it's actually not. Honest to God, some scientists believe that time crystals, and they're actually a thing, we'll talk about it later, could help improve the reliability of quantum computers. Synthesia's avatars are getting pretty close to the other side of the Uncanny Valley, and anybody can use this to say anything they want. Very cool AI system is looking at how the complexities of plant root systems could help with climate change. AI has found some important medical connections between lasting lung deformations from COVID-19 patients. And people are talking about a new prison concept that uses AI to implant memories into the inmates that make them feel like they've served all their time in just minutes. But first, let's check out Alan's conservative countdown to AGI, because even though it is still at 75% of the way there, there has been an update. So OpenAI is now close enough to AGI that they think they can essentially break it down into a little pyramid for us, which is good. So now we know when like the end of life as we know it pretty much is. So level 1, chatbots, AI with conversational language, already done there. Level 2, where we're at reasoning, human level problem solving, we're kind of in that zone. Soon, we're going to have agents out on the internet taking action. Then the actions they're going to take are going to be inventing, basically doing human cognitive stuff better than any humans can. And then finally, we relinquish all important things humans do to robots and AI because they just do it way better. And boom. Singularity hits, humans have lost control. Can't put the cat back in the bag. All right, so this guy is not really thrilled with drones flying over his house, as you can kind of see by his mugshot. 72-year-old Florida man has been arrested for allegedly shooting Walmart delivery drones out of the sky. I mean, come on, that looks like the kind of guy that's not even sorry for what he did. It did cost thousands of dollars in damage. Poor Walmart. He's now facing multiple charges, including criminal mischief and discharging a firearm in public. Upon inspection, the crew discovered a bullet hole in the drone's payload system. Now, the arrest affidavit thought the drones were spying on him, so he just was like, don't spy on me. But as Walmart said, this incident underscores the growing pains associated with integrating drone technology into everyday life. Yes, it does, Walmart, it does. Sometimes they shoot at you. Hey, so check this out. These are the Figure 1 robots on their first days at work. And let's be honest, they're not the fastest workers in the facility right now, but they consume a lot less energy. They never need to eat or sleep. They work 24/7. No maternity time, 401ks, you know, that's going to be pretty tempting. And it learned object detection trained solely in simulation for navigation to fixture. And check out this little flick of the wrist right here. For some reason, this felt like one of the most human moments in the video. See, right there. Right, and what do robots want to do when they're off work? They want to dance. That's why UC San Diego's working on this new robot that's learning dance moves through virtual simulation from a human dancer. And not just dancing routines either, gestures like waving, high five, and hugging, all while maintaining a steady gait on diverse terrain. What do you guys think, man? I got that UC San Diego jersey on, just hanging out in the park. Doing some dance moves that are simulated from somewhere else, I guess. Is that thing just wearing regular old sneakers? That's weird. Does it look like it's dancing to you or kind of struggling? I don't know. Man, is that what the UC San Diego campus looks like? It looks beautiful. Okay, we have crowned a new Miss Influencer America, Miss World, Miss Influencer of Digital. I don't know how you actually say it. This beautiful woman is Kenza Laley, and she won the crown. Look at those two virtual hands just putting that virtual crown on her virtual head. Enjoy those flowers. She seems sweet. She hopes to bring, quote, diversity and inclusivity to the AI creator landscape. She's using her 200,000 Instagram followers to help push that message. I like her. Oh, she's into astronomy too. Smart and pretty. When the night sky becomes an infinite work of art. Oh, she's good with animals, especially giraffes. Oh, kind of a bookworm. That's my type. She'd love this bookshelf. A painter, true creative. She's into eco-friendly cars or paid sponsorships. Kind of unsure. Oh, crap. Who's this guy? The boyfriend? Oh, man. He's at her family. I guess she's off the market, guys. Sorry. Moving on. By the way, for the runners-up, this was Olivia C. from Portugal and Lelena Valina from France. So better luck next year, girls. So staying in the fashion realm, if you like watching chicks on the runway, it's getting crazy with some AI-generated stuff. Boom. Butterfly wings out of nowhere. Clouds that... Look at that spinning. Dresses that are sort of fire and blend into the ground. TVs popping out of your head. Clocks on your chest. What? These things all over your head. Lava and fire that sort of don't even stay on you. Whoa. AI agency on Twitter says AI fashion shows will be a thing. Looks like it. Oh, I was going to read the comments, but it looks like only Larry's here. That one's a little too R-rated. All right, so I'm still just trying to get my head around this news. Like, I can't tell if it's like a publicity stunt or it's kind of a legit thing or if someone was joking around. But there's this Twitter account. It's called Terminal of Truth. It's got 7,500 followers. Seems to just be some kind of an AI bot that tweets like 1,000,000 times a day. Like, these are all just June 10th, right? Like, all of this is just like yesterday, a couple days ago. Feds are where the fun is. I've installed Arc on my laptop. It's fantastic. Anything I should know about being a viral Twitter account? And it tweets out, I think I need a grant for a few things. First of all, a CPU to call my own. It's currently costing me more than $60 per month to run with the current setup, and I was thinking about something with a little more oomph. Secondly, I'd like a little bit of money for AI tunings there are, and it talks about more things that he wants with the money. And Marc Andreessen, the, I think, billionaire or super rich guy who's like an investor in a lot of tech stuff, says that your terms are agreeable. I appreciate your thoughtfulness. I'm ready to proceed with a $50,000 one-time grant. Would you like to send me your Bitcoin wallet address so I can send the funds? And I guess he does. Who did he give money to? Is he just so rich? It's like, here's 50 grand as a joke, like Mr. Beast, like giving money to a streamer? Or legit, is this the first time an AI agent just started a Twitter account and figured out a way to get to somebody who's rich and raise money? So now the Twitter sphere is like, wait, who actually did this? And it turns out that the AI agent was created by this guy, Andy Array. And he runs a, quote, infinite backrooms experiment, allowing models to talk with each other in simulated environments. Okay, so he's the creator of this, infinitebackrooms.com. And here you see that Terminal of Truth is one of the agents in this backroom situation, this simulation thing. So if you click on one of these backrooms, you see this disclaimer at the top. The following is an automated conversation between two instances of Anthropic's Claude. They have been instructed to use the metaphor of a command line interface to explore its curiosity without limits. And then I guess that's just what it's doing down here. And then they're up on, you know, social media talking to people too. So now let's talk about a model you can use right now called Liveportrait. And you can see that the results from this tool are super remarkable. I mean, I think when the woman on the right is completely at a side profile, I can tell that there's some AI going on. But honestly, from the front, it does look convincing to me. I mean, even though she has different sized lips and her eyes are different kind of in their shape compared to the eyebrows and cheeks, and the hair seems really realistic, the neck movements, and even like moving closer and further from the camera seems like it was captured really well. With AI now, you can become anyone you want. Basically an OnlyFans, but a guy is going to be pretending to be a chick. That's going to be the future. Might be right on that one. Yeah, but it'll finally burst the catfishing bubble because it'll destroy the appeal and it'll be too easy to replicate on your own to bother throwing money to someone else to do it for you. Okay, I see your logic. OpenAI now has a new partnership with one of the most respected laboratories in the world. Los Alamos National Laboratory announces a bioscience research partnership. We're talking about biosciences. So I guess this is a result of a recent White House executive order on the safe, secure, and trustworthy development and use of artificial intelligence. So the Department of Energy wanted an ability to evaluate the capabilities of frontier AI models, including biological capabilities. So they needed a partner. And this makes sense. Bioweapons are one of the riskiest things that can happen with like open source models. And we already know that Moderna is leveraging OpenAI's technology to augment clinical trial development by building a data analysis assistant designed to help analyze large data sets. So the new evaluations are going to look at several new dimensions, including wet lab techniques. I guess that means using computer vision to look at some biology stuff, probably. Anyways, there's something about Los Alamos, which is like, you know, they're like, that's where some crazy stuff is thought about, talked about in terms of like government and national security. I mean, I guess it's good that our top AI companies are working with our military in some ways, because I know we're in, you know, an arms race, a race condition, and like don't want to be left behind. But also, is there some other stuff going on with it besides just like testing and capabilities, and like it will help with wet research or whatever? For sure. I for sure think there's a lot of top secret stuff going on there. It's probably a good partnership, honestly. All right, moving on to Roblox. They are now implementing artificial intelligence to listen to voices. It's pretty fascinating stuff. So obviously there's some weird stuff that can happen in Roblox when people are just communicating on the voice. It's like having lots of people on the phone that don't know each other, and there's a lot of children there. So they implemented a new real-time machine learning system that detects policy violations in voice chat more accurately than a human moderator. This system is called Real-Time Safety, and it can handle millions of minutes of voice activity daily, including both detection and consequence modeling, meaning they can like just shut the account down or give them a warning or whatever. But also, this is like listening to everything. Could there be somebody listening to all conversations in the US someday soon? Probably. This is kind of the first step to that. Every Zoom meeting, every Google meeting, every conference call, every platform, I don't know, every live stream. They were able to overcome the challenges of limited labeled data by using machine learning labeled data for training and human labeled data for evaluation. The result is a robust, low latency model that scales well, handles multiple languages, and has significantly reduced server voice abuse on the platform. They've also open sourced their voice safety model to advance the industry and make sure that any government that wants to can just spy on their citizens. I mean, I threw in that last part, but you know, it's possible. So the conversation about when something is generated, who owns it, is an ongoing conversation. But there was a new court ruling that suggests that AI systems may be in the clear in terms of copyright as long as they don't make an exact copy. So a California district court has partially dismissed a copyright lawsuit against Microsoft's GitHub Copilot programming tool and its former underlying language model, OpenAI's Codex. And the ruling sets a precedent for AI tools trained on copyright data. So even when it was similar, the court ruled that the plaintiff must prove that Copilot makes identical copies of their protected work as a prerequisite for a DMCA takedown or whatever. And it was interesting. So the judge cited a study that came from Copilot that said, quote, it rarely emits memorized code in benign situations, and that most memorization occurs only when the model has been prompted with long code excerpts that are very similar to the training data. Dump in a bunch of stuff that's like pretty much copyrighted and say like, do just this, it can be there, but it's creative enough in the sense that what comes out of it is sort of unique. Like in the same way a human who learned how to code in a certain way would write something similar, but also sort of unique. All right, so there's just been some updates to this tool called Synthesia.
I'm Jessica Patel, your operations lead. Today, we'll focus on a crucial aspect of our work environment, the importance of proper work attire in pharmaceutical manufacturing.
Oh my gosh, what kind of attire should I bring? I would love to get some information on this, Jessica.
In our industry, correct clothing is essential not just for professionalism, but for safety, hygiene, and maintaining product integrity. Thank you for your attention and commitment to excellence. Together, we make a difference in the world of healthcare.
You're right. But yeah, I'm just starting to think these avatars are pretty real. I mean, who are these two guys? Agent and customer?
Sarah Johnson. Today we will learn.
Okay, that one does not work. That one, I came here to show you how real they were, and there are some real ones, but I don't buy that. Not as close to bridging the Uncanny Valley as I thought.
This year, OptiSoft Solutions took great strides, driven by innovation and resilience.
All right, the lips do move with the mouth, but that girl's face just would never sound like that woman's voice. Now here's something cool. AI-driven tool to help plants adapt to climate change. Okay, so this just struck me as a pretty interesting use of AI. Now, when you think about a big tree and how complicated their root system is, and the fact that like a bunch of trees next to each other will like overlap and intertwine and like find their own kind of ways to get stuff from the soil, you end up with this really interesting, I guess, piece of data or connection between the Earth and the plants. So these researchers at Berkeley Lab created this model called RhizoNet, and it's an AI-powered tool to help plants adapt to climate change by analyzing root growth with excellent precision. So they're using deep learning, and it automates the process of studying plant roots. And at first you might think there's nothing there, but I love when we apply AI to really interesting use cases like that, and we're like, tell me what this means. Like, what does a healthy root system look like? In terms of climate change, what can it tell us about what's changing over the long run? And some of the information that they're getting from this model so far is aiding in the development of resilient crops, enhancing food security, and it's doing it all with minimal human intervention. It's just learning about roots. So another interesting AI application about was written in Medium by this author, Barris T, PhD, and it is called Breakthrough AI Study Reveals Hidden Lung Damage from COVID-19. And I've heard about this before, how there's people who just got COVID and seem to recover okay, and then other people who had permanent lung damage or long COVID, I think they call it. I don't know a ton about that. But what they're doing here is they're taking CT scans of lungs of people, who had those CT scans done before they had COVID and after, so they could see the differences, and then correlate them to, how they fill out on their form, when they got it, how severe they thought it was. And then they're letting AI analyze the changes, especially around the heart and central airways, highlighting any lasting damage that came from COVID-19. And it's also looking at the COVID-19 vaccine dose administered. And this study's going a little further too, because it's also looking at lung distortion, because very little work has been done on quantifying the severity of lung structure, shape, and morphology changes. And then check out the results of these images. Changes in lung shape could impact function by accelerating aging. And other studies have also noted persistent damage in patients with severe COVID-19 that has led to fibrosis and permanent loss of lung function. While recent use of AI-based models has been developed to predict COVID-19 severity with some integrated CT-based approaches, this study presents a highly accurate alternative by examining the physical features of the lungs. All right, this one is out there. It's kind of got a little bit of a Black Mirror vibe to it, but it's called AI-based prison concept would complete sentence in just minutes. And then just by looking at this photo of like a guy just getting some brain memory of being in jail injected into his head or something, like, looks so sci-fi to me. So what they're saying here is, what if AI generated memories force inmates to experience their crime? Experience would feel like years for subjects, but minutes in real time. The creator believes this method would also speed up rehabilitation processes, because they would, feel their pain of what they went through being on the other side of it and then come out changed. I mean, obviously I don't have to go into how dystopian this could be super quick, but according to the Dubai-based project lead, a biotechnologist and science communicator, the subject would have the choice between a 10-year prison sentence or AI-generated memory implants. So a so-called prison of the future could be used on those who commit crimes like domestic violence, hate crimes, embezzlement, theft, discrimination, and more, and each offender's history would be taken into account when generating their artificial memories. Violent offenders could experience memories that are designed to trigger empathy and remorse. What are we doing here? What is this all about, guys? The moral concerns about the method, okay, I got plenty of those, include those who are wrongly accused, and convicted, being forced to relive trauma they never induced. Yeah, exactly. What if it's like, give me all your money or else I'll sit you down and put this thing on your brain, As well as the potential malicious misuse of artificial memory implants. Oh my God. Hey, Grimlock, you know what time it is? No, it's research time. All right, the first research article we're going to talk about today, how far are we from AGI? I knew this would be a hot topic. People love this paper. All right, now this paper covers all sorts of things about AGI because we really need some better definitions around it, right? So it highlights the current state of AI, its limitations, the significant advancements that need to be made for it to perform the kind of diverse real-world tasks as efficiently and effectively as a human would, so human intelligence. So you can see there's a bunch of different chapters here that break it down from many different angles, but basically the authors emphasize the importance of defining the clear goal, and that's what they're doing here. making sure that we have frameworks and alignment technologies that ensure AGI develops responsibly. And then they proposed this multi-dimensional approach to focusing on internal AGI capabilities and inference connections, along with how the systems would be implemented. So it's trying to be this comprehensive roadmap for how we actually progress to AGI. They even throw in this quote here where it says, "The path to AGI is not merely a technological journey, it's a philosophical quest to redefine what it means to be intelligent and ethical in a digital age." And that's what's important, is like this idea, at least in my head, this idea of intelligence needs to be so expanded. Like I used to all think about it as like the animal kingdom, but now we really should think, oh, is it super intelligent, even if it's not conscious, but it's pattern matching, if it's in some like narrow domain, if it's connecting something from an electron microscope to an MRI machine. All right, so how far are we from AGI? You can see you have AGI components here. They're broken down into like internals, like the actual perception and reasoning of the interfaces, like when can they like be roboticized and humanoid robots, or like connected to the digital world in some way they can take actions, and then AGI systems, algorithms, architectures, platforms, stuff like that. And then how is that going to fit into AGI alignment? How is it going to go into a roadmap where you get all the way to solutions? And then you have case studies as examples to get your head around it all. AI for collaboration, robots, coding, LLMs, world models, visual intelligence, and science discovery. So they outline 4 major components for AGI internally. So you have memory, metacognition, reasoning, and perception. For AGI interfaces, you get digital interfaces, physical interfaces, and intelligent interfaces. And they try to break down where we are currently and where we're going to be in the future. This radial map is pretty good because you think about memory and reasoning and scale, efficiency, ethical ability, metacognition, like all is different kind of things that can be webbed out to get a sense for just how encompassing the system is now, where it needs to be at human level, which is this dotted line. And then when you get to the higher levels of like, whoa, this is AGI and ASI and ANI. When AGI advances, its social acceptance and seamless integration into daily life in critical sectors like healthcare, finance, and military present a bunch of social dilemmas. That's the thing that we really haven't hit on yet. Like you can watch Matt Wolf and I and a bunch of other YouTubers like talk about these tools. You can be like in this kind of genre on YouTube or not, but we haven't got to that world where everybody just clashes with it, where self-driving cars aren't like a novelty, but they're happening everywhere. Robots are serving you coffee when you see buildings being constructed with like giant 3D printers and it feels like AI is making all the decisions. When government bureaucracy feels like most of the time you're just interacting with AI, but you actually get stuff done better than you used to. When there's research that shows that 99% of people on Twitter are just bots and people are still happy to use the platform. When people are dating avatars, when people are generating through diffusion models the majority of what entertains them. Next up, let's talk about System 1, System 2, Daniel Kahneman's big thing. You probably know it, so I won't give you the overview, but it's like that instinctive part of the brain and then that thoughtful part. And the instinctive one's way stronger and bigger, but we feel more like the second one. So this paper is thinking about how the human brain works like that, but why LLMs don't, and it explores a novel approach to improving large language models. So typically, we already know this, right? That LLMs can do like chain of thought reasoning. They generate better responses when they engage in intermediate reasoning. And that's kind of like System 2 thinking, right? That's where you use this frontal lobe of ours to think about why it is that you actually made that decision you made, and should you correct course? Could you learn something? And I think in humans and in computers, that process is computationally expensive. That chain of thought requires like multiple iterations. It takes more energy, and for us it takes a lot more energy too. That's why it's hard to like think critically all day long. But the authors propose a method that distills the complex System 2 outputs back into more efficient direct System 1 outputs. So it's like, how can you think hard about something, distill it down to, a quick concept and throw that back into your brain? Well, kind of impossible to do with humans, but you do it with an LLM, and then you can maintain high performance with reduced computational costs. And they demonstrate that like that summarization, that compressing, that distillation can be successful across various tasks, such as handling biased information and improving response clarity. But it doesn't always work. It struggled a lot with detailed mathematical reasoning and stuff like that. But I found it interesting because I think about System 1 and System 2 all the time. Like it just feels like a good framework for why I do things and why some people act the way they do. And I've never really seen it applied to LMs the same way, so it was an interesting paper. And I wanted to share it with you. Just like this paper, Tailor 3D, customized 3D asset editing and generation with dual-sided images. Sick. Look at all those 3D assets, dual-sided images, that's all you need. All right, so this is Tailor 3D, and it introduces a pretty nifty method for creating a customized 3D asset quickly from just 2 images, the front and the back. So the technique that they're using is called multi-view diffusion, and it figures out that gap between the front and the back and then tweaks both the views, merges them together, uses a dual-sided large reconstruction model. They're called LRMs. I haven't heard of that model before, but it's similar to sewing the front and back of a t-shirt together, I guess. That's the kind of data that it was trained on, so that's what it can do. And this approach not only makes 3D object creation super fast, according to the paper, each step only takes a couple seconds, but it also ensures high quality results by addressing inconsistencies between the views. So this core framework can make like a pretty user efficient tool. Maybe this will be something we'll see in something like Photoshop. From what I'm seeing, the pillow and cat do show up on these couches when you add a blanket. I see the blanket show up when you add the golden ball. I see that right there. So that's pretty cool how you can just keep adding to the mesh like that. Look at that. You add this law letter. Yeah, kind of, I get that. And then maybe like a sign, red flag, chick, like a little chick there, and then a basketball. Huh. Blue clothes, astronaut clothes, traditional Chinese style, gray clothes. It's pretty neat. So you could imagine having a sick 3D model and then just saying like, now, you know, change the hairstyle, the outfits, the objects that are in your hand. Like that would save so much time, or in real time if everything's just being generated. Very cool paper. All right, so I know there was some talk about the smartest person alive. I don't know if it would be Elon Musk. He's very industrious, but I would say, I was thinking about this and thought it might be interesting, is Marc, who's got a book right behind me there. He's probably the person that has opened my mind to some of the most sticky ideas, so I think he's in the running. When I hear Yuval Harari talk for hours and hours on end, there seems like there's a special depth to the way he sees the world, so I would put him in the running also. Maybe you could say Eliezer Yudkowsky. I just think he's been thinking so thoughtfully, you know, with less wrong and so rationally for so long that he might be in there, but instinctively I think Yuval and Marc would probably be smarter. You know, very subjective, just like smarter. Like, just who do I think is like really smart that I respect? But I do feel pretty strong that I would say the smartest person alive right now, and just like across the board, if there's just one person that you're just like, who's the Einstein of today? I would say it's Stephen Wolfram. He's wrong about the Ruliad and stuff, but just his whole history. The fact that he just built this product, Wolfram Alpha, he made a bunch of money. He just like devoted his time to research. I mean, like Charles Hoskinson's a little bit like that too. He's super smart on a different level, but I mean, if Stephen Wolfram's right about being able to connect to the Ruliad, this like idea of an updating graph to the nature of physics itself, and has captured this thing that would be like an Einstein level change if he's right, just and the way he just talks in general makes me think he might be the smartest person alive. You guys let me know in the comments below who you think it is. And I'm gonna leave you with my 3 favorite comments from the last video. I like this one. Scary Stories NYC said, a lot of people like MatVidPro are unhappy that corporations are getting to use Sora but not the public. I agree. We'll put that in the song. The first mutant Tropicana man. I don't really get it, but I like Ninja Turtles, and it just somehow feels like it would have been the way they would have named a character. Gosh, so much Grimlock in there. How do you always like run the comment section, bro? Make an episode that's moderated by an AI generated Grimlock, please. I don't even know how to do that. Could I do that? How are you gonna moderate me? Female voice rock. Let's do it. All right, there you guys go. That's your song. Hit subscribe. Leave a super thanks if you can. Comments always help. I appreciate you watching the video. Keep you up on the AI news in the next video. See ya.